Hey everybody, I'm Janet. It is so great to see you this morning. I wish we were all together in person, but I am here today to tell you a story about a very special person in the Bible. This is a person who has a whole book in the Bible named about them, and what's really unusual is that this is one of two books in the Bible named after a woman. So this story we're going to tell today is a story about a woman named Ruth. The other book in the Bible named after a woman is Esther, so maybe we'll talk about her some other time. But Ruth is a very interesting story, and it teaches us a lot about family, about compassion, and about faithfulness. So the story actually starts out not with Ruth, but with a woman named Naomi. Now, Naomi is an older woman. She's like a mom, and she's married, and she has two adult sons. So they live in Israel, but there's a famine. And a famine means that there was not enough food for people. So they actually had to leave their home and travel to another country called Moab. So Naomi and her husband and her two sons travel to Moab, and while they are there, the two sons get married. And one of the sons marries this woman named Ruth. So the two sons are married, they're all living in Moab, but sadly, over time, Naomi's husband dies and her two sons also die. Super sad. So Naomi is really upset, of course. So Naomi has these two women who were married to her sons, but she is an older woman, and in that culture, she was very worried about how am I going to care for myself, because, women didn't have jobs and things like that back then. So Naomi is feeling really sad, and she's feeling like, I need to go back to Israel. I need to go back to my home. Now remember, the two daughter-in-laws, the two women who were married to her sons, they were from this country, Moab. They aren't from the same country as her. They are foreigners to each other in a way. So Naomi is telling her daughters-in-law that she is going to travel back to her home. And they're all really sad because they love each other and they really want to stay together. But Naomi says to them, you're young, you should go have a family here, find another husband. You don't need to worry about me, I'm old. And, she's just feeling really sad and depressed. But Ruth feels so much compassion and love for her mother-in-law. And she says, I can't leave you. I can't let you go back by yourself. I am going to help take care of you. And she actually says to Naomi, one of the kindest and most loving phrases in the whole Bible. She says to her, wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. So Ruth is saying to Naomi, I'm going to make sure that you are taken care of. I'm not going to leave you to be alone in your old age. So Ruth travels with Naomi back to Israel, and now Ruth is the foreigner in this country. She's an immigrant to this country. There is an older man in the area whose name is Boaz, and he is a cousin of sorts to Naomi, but he is also a member of this extended family who helps to take care of them. And one of the things that's really interesting in this story is that Boaz says to his other people, he's a very important man, and he says to the other people, I want you to show kindness to Ruth and her mother-in-law. Ruth has really shown a lot of faithfulness to Naomi in taking care of her and having this commitment to her. And so we're going to make sure that they have enough food and that we allow them to be part of our community and that we don't turn them away. So the story of Ruth actually has a very strong message about taking care of people who are from other countries and not being unkind to them, but showing compassion to them. So the story continues, and long story short, Ruth and Boaz end up getting married. Who knew? And then Naomi is super happy because her daughter-in-law has found a husband and they have a family now that they will be able to be taken care of. And one really cool thing that you find out at the very end of the story is that Ruth and Boaz have a child. Well, that son has a son, and then that son has a son, and guess who that great-grandson is? King David. So we've heard of King David from the Bible before, right? So that means that Ruth is the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother of Jesus. How about that? So that.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Let him shine, let him shine, let him shine.
All right, everyone. So remember, our memory verse for today is Ruth chapter 1, verse 16. And this is what Ruth says to Naomi. Wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God.